Another state Supreme Court has thankfully struck down the extremely partisan gerrymandered congressional map there. And here I am talking about Pennsylvania. Monday's order requires the state's Republican-led General Assembly to draw a new map by February 9th and submit it to the governor, who is in this case a Democrat, for approval. If the assembly fails to produce any map, or if the governor does not approve it, the state Supreme Court will produce its own map. And so this is a map that the state, and to some would say the political parties in the state, have been suffering under from some time, in a state where you had basically split in terms of the vote. Like, it was very close. It was within a few percentage points, and yet the overwhelming majority of the seats ended up going to Republicans because the Republicans had put into effect an extremely partisan map. And so thankfully, it looks like if everything goes as planned, and if the Supreme Court does not step in, that for this year's elections, we will have probably still biased congressional districts, but hopefully a little bit more fair, a little bit more equitable, and more representative of the actual vote in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania was considered perhaps the worst gerrymandered state in the country. They have a district that looks so ridiculous that it is called, and this is the exact quote, "Goofy Kicking Donald Duck." That's what they're calling it, because it apparently looks like that on the map. What they do in gerrymandering is they gather up a lot of the Democratic votes, and by the way, in Maryland they do it in reverse. The Democrats gerrymandered against the Republicans, so it's a terrible idea for democracy either way. Now, the Republicans, of course, do it more, right? And in Pennsylvania, they put it on steroids. So they gather up all the Democratic voters in districts so that whoever the Democratic incumbent is, they're never gonna lose. They have a giant lead in those districts. That's why some of the times the Democratic incumbents don't mind. And they're like, oh golly gee, the Republicans have taken all these other districts away. What do I care? I get to protect my seat forever, right? So they have these huge margins, and then the other seats, and that's why they gotta draw them up in crazy ways. If you're just doing this Pittsburgh, for example, or Philadelphia, well, okay, that's at least a city. I can understand that it would be heavily Democratic, but it's a city. No, they'll take a slice of Pittsburgh this way, and a slice of Philly that way, and a slice of Scranton this way. And so they make it so that most of the districts are Republican, and all the other Democratic voters are stuffed into the few Democratic districts. Hence, and this is my favorite disastrous fact, in 2012, Democrats got more House votes than the Republicans did in the state of Pennsylvania. So in a democracy, they would have more Democratic congressmen in Pennsylvania because they got more votes. No, they sliced the districts in such a way that nonetheless, the Republicans won 13 out of the 18 seats.
Even though they got less votes.
Even though they got less votes, they got 13 out of the 18 seats.
Yeah.
That's why it is, as the court said, clearly, plainly, and palpably unconstitutional.
Yeah.
Because they're taking away one person, one vote.
Exactly, yeah, and that's why the state, and when it gets to Congress, suddenly votes in a way that's not in the interest of its actual constituency. And when you extend this out over the entire country, this is why Democrats will get more votes in the general election for Senate, House, and for the presidency, and then will not have control of any of those things. And it's believed, the theory is that the Supreme Court will not step in because this is just a state thing. But you never know. We recently reported on North Carolina. So North Carolina also, the Supreme Court said this is a gerrymandered, partisan, biased congressional map. You have to do a new one before the election. And then the Supreme Court put a hold on it. And now there's another panel of judges that's saying, no, in fact, you will have to do it. But that's being challenged. So we don't know what will happen there. And you can't just expect that because the Supreme Court judged that this will actually go through. Even if they do have to do the map, look at how North Carolina, the Republicans there are dealing with a little bit of a setback in terms of their gerrymandering. The North Carolina Supreme Court went 4-3 roughly liberal. They're saying it's got one more liberal judge than not. So after that switch, the Republicans decide, oh, if they're gonna stop us from gerrymandering the congressional districts, simple, we gerrymander the judicial districts. And so they've been changing the judicial districts to try to re-elect Republican judges to strike down the gerrymandering halt. They also changed judicial elections from nonpartisan to partisan. You have to say what party you're in. The idea is they're hoping that people will not want to vote for a Democratic judge there. And that's the first time since 1921 a state has actually changed that. They also canceled primaries in judicial districts, hoping that the Republican incumbents would then have an advantage. And they also stopped the new Democratic governor from adding 3 new judges to the Court of Appeals. They took out those seats so that he couldn't get his 3 judges there. So the lengths they will go to manipulate the vote and pervert democracy almost know no bounds.
All right, and we're ending on a fun quote, a fun fact, and a fun conclusion. The fun quote is, even Real Clear Politics, which actually leans Republican, called Pennsylvania the gerrymander of the decade. Okay, the fun fact is, now when they redraw the lines, 2 incumbents will likely be in the same district. So it'll be 2 Republicans in the case of Pennsylvania. This happened in Ohio with 2 Democrats. That's how Kucinich lost his seat.
Oh, really?
So when they redraw the lines, now there'll be a bunch of Republicans going against each other, which will be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and then finally, the fun conclusion. The Republican Party is a house of cards. They lose the elections in popular votes all the time, including elections like Trump and George W. Bush's first election, where they won the Electoral College, kind of, in the case of Bush, but you're right. But they lost the electoral vote. But with the influence of money in politics, an aging population with their one last gasp of anger, and all the gerrymandering, they barely clung on to power. Once you start knocking out a couple of those pegs, they're in for a world of hurt.
Yeah.
That collapse is going to be epic. You just watched the video by the Young Turks, the home of the revolution. If you'd like to get the full show, come join us and become a member. TYTnetwork.com/join.